Hi everyone, welcome to the Convo Room. I am Idokogi Elizabeth, and with me here is
Toby.
and
Toby.
so yeah, let's do this. On today's session, we're going to be talking about financial discipline. Financial discipline. Obina, please can you explain to us what you understand by financial discipline?
Okay, financial discipline, like the word implies, is when you are disciplined financially, not just that plain sentence I just said, but like when you know when to spend, how to spend, and just how to manage your expenses as a student, not just as a student, but as a person. So that could be financial discipline.
Okay, that is good. So please can you give us like an example of ways to be financially disciplined?
Budget your money wisely. Save any money that you're not using. Invest your money in places that will give you returns. Uh, what else? Ask more experienced people about ways to handle your money better because one person can't know it all. There are professionals, and even if not professionals, there should be people around you who are more knowledgeable concerning the things of financial discipline. So, yes.
Yeah. Another one is when it comes to giving people, give what you can give at that time and something that, okay, something you don't expect back, something you don't plan on getting back. And when you do not have to give, just say no. Because you cannot use, let's say you just have 3,000 to eat and that's like for a day or two. You can't say you want to give out of that because it will not take you far and it's going to shorten your ration. So it's better to give when you can and what you're not going to miss. Another one is prioritize your prioritize when you have things that are more important than others, place them in order. For example, you need to print an assignment, you need to buy something for a project before you start spending on things that you want. So it helps you to manage your money wisely, to know how much you can actually spend on yourself apart from schoolwork. Obina, please can you give us another example of financial discipline?
Okay, like what she said most of the things, but I'm going to still echo some things. Know when to spend, know your priorities, like what do you need to spend on. It's not, you're not always advised to spend on other people if it's not necessary. Like we're all students, some people are, if you're in an academic setting, let's say for example you're in a school, it's not advisable to be spending on other people when you're still collecting money from your parents. Why are you sharing money? So is it for those that, or let's say when you're in a relationship, it's not advisable to be always be the person, the kind of spending money on always going out spending all this is where you know that is 5K you're collecting per week. You're not spending 2 5 on another person. How will you not eat? So that's one of the things I would advise you to be. Don't be the I don't give a fuck. I'm going to sorry for language. Don't be the person that always moving out money, go and buy shawarma when you're buying shawarma and you're eating gari in your hostel. So think about your spending. Yes, you have a another person with you, but don't introduce that person to a life of spending when you don't have money. That's one advice. Another advice is still relating with what she said. Know your pocket and how you're spending. Know your pocket. It's the kind of lifestyle you should not be living if you have limited.
Sources.
Exactly. If you have limited resources and if your pocket is not something that you are the one earning by yourself, if you are the person, if you are the kind that you are collecting allowance, you should not be spending like as if you are earning 1 million in a month. No, no. You're meant to be spending like a person that is supposed to understand himself, understand yourself, understand the system, your parents, understand them also, because it's also hard to be releasing money every single time, every single month, or some people that collect every week. So understand your parents and pity them. Yes.
Yes, I think. Do you have any other thing to add?
Even for those who aren't collecting from their parents, some people actually work for that money. So this is not only for one set of people.
Yes.
People entering university, people in university already, people who recently just got out. There are the many ways that we have already mentioned about managing your finances. And do not, if you're now in the point where you make money for yourself, it shouldn't, that should even give you more consciousness about your money. It shouldn't let you spend in ways that you would regret later. So we just have to be, yes, very conscious about how we spend. And um, savings and investments, they are very key to me. So I try a lot to save, even as little as 100 naira per week. That's, if I do 100 naira per week, and let's say that goes on for 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years, and I decide to pull that money out for maybe a project or something I want to do later, it would have amounted to quite a lot after a long period of time. Then, yeah, investments. I know many banks do investment. Many banks have investment plans. There are even apps nowadays that you put your money into and they allow you to invest. They can lock your money, and after a certain period of time, you can then withdraw it. Maybe you're saving towards a car, maybe you're saving towards a house, maybe you're saving towards
A gadget.
anything. You just have to be disciplined. And then, yeah, saving now is key, because if you save now and you spend your savings tomorrow, what will then happen the day after if you actually needed that money for that point in time? God forbid an accident, or um, police stopping you on the way because you're driving a nice car or something. And then the day before, because you had savings and you had spent your, maybe your money allocated for that period, and then you now had to eat into your savings. I'd advise to be disciplined enough, because you never know when an emergency will come. Emergencies are many times unexpected. So, and emergencies don't always have to be bad. I don't believe they always have to be bad. You can have an emergency to, maybe you forgot someone's what's it called? You forgot someone's birthday or something, and then you have maybe a separate account for that where you save money for those type of things, and then, oh, now you have to go for that birthday, or let's say you have to travel. I mean, if you travel for maybe education or something, and, or let's say you got an opportunity abroad or something, and then you just have to travel, that is an emergency, but it's not bad. So if you had money saved up to that point and you were disciplined enough not to spend it or not to eat out of it, you'd be happy and you'd be comfortable when it actually comes for you to take out that money, put it into what it was saved up for, and then hopefully you even get a higher amount into a higher amount at the end of the day, after putting your savings into what it has been saved for. So we're key on discipline, we are key on proper management, and yeah, hand over back to the host of the show.
So I'm sure we have all learned something. We learned about investing and budgeting. We learned about saving, moving a specific amount of money and keeping it somewhere for unforeseen things or for a target that you want to meet. We learned about spending wisely. We learned prioritizing your finances, prioritizing the list of things you want to do, knowing when to spend, and it's not compulsory that you spend on other people, especially when you do not have. And when it comes to lending money or borrowing, know what you can give that you will not miss, and borrow when you can. If you can't, don't. If you cannot, don't. And so that brings us to the end of our first session. Thank you guys for joining. See you.